Hello, everyone. Hello, world. Hello to all the beautiful people listening to today's episode. I am so happy to have you here. And every time I say that, you might think, oh my goodness, she's just saying that. But honestly, truly, I'm so happy that you're here with me because you're giving me the chance to, share my gift with everyone else and with all of you. And I actually appreciate that so much. So today marks the next episode of Bloom and Blossom. I hope you've liked what we have so far. Let me know what you think. You can always message me on YouTube, on my channel. You can post a comment. You can leave a response in the Q&A section here on Spotify, or you can even find me on Instagram as well. So it's at Melting the Ice with 2 E's. So like icy, yeah. So you can find me on those platforms. I'd love to hear what you think. Today we're diving into another topic of this amazing series of ours called Bloom and Blossom, which is based on the principle of blooming where we are, or that famous quote that says bloom where you're planted. That is what this series is about. And today's episode is really about I'll just say it's you survived, let's celebrate. And what I mean by you survived, let's celebrate, it's that all of us, every single one of us have experienced something challenging, or some of us have experienced things that are even traumatic, yeah, most of us actually. And whatever it may be, however big or however small you think it is, you're here right now. You're here with me. And like I said, I'm so happy to have you here. But you're here because you survived. So let's celebrate. And today I just really want to talk about the truth that you're here because you survived. And if you survived, that's something to be proud of. That's something to be grateful for. And that's something worth celebrating. I don't want you to beat yourself up or to feel bad again about where you are or whatever it may be, because you have overcome the most difficult parts already. And that's why you're here today, because you survived, right? That's something so powerful, and I don't think we realize how special that is, how lucky and how loved we are, that despite everything we've experienced, even when all the odds were against us, even when nothing was working out, whether we barely made it through or whether we made it through in an amazing way, either way, my point is that you survived. And I'm so happy that you're here. Please just pat yourself on the back and just say, I'm happy that I'm here. Thank you for being here. Pat yourself on the back. I think it's sad that we don't realize how precious our existence here is. We don't realize how special we actually are, and how amazing it is that we actually survived. If you're here right now, I don't want you to think about, oh, this could have happened this way or that could have happened that way. Today's episode is just about literally celebrating that we're here. It's a celebration that we still exist in this world, and You're so lucky. You listening to this right now. Even me speaking, I'm so lucky. I have my voice. I'm so happy to have that. I'm so grateful. You have your ears, right? You have your eyesight. Maybe that's how you're able to tap into this episode. But even if you don't, you can hear me. You have those senses that we take for granted. In other words, you're perfect, right? You're exactly how you need to be and how you should be right now. I just want us to normalize celebrating ourselves, celebrating where we are, celebrating what we've overcome. It's fine to want to make things different. It's fine to think, oh, I could have done that differently. I should have said this instead. I should have gone there. But I think it's also so important to remember the most important thing. That we survived. We're here. And whatever you think needs to be adjusted, learn and practice that in the future. But you can't keep beating up old versions of yourselves when those old versions of yourselves did the very best that they could with what they had. Those old versions of yourselves, they are fighters. Some of the things some people have been through, you're like, wow, you've been through so much. Sometimes at a very young age, you've gone through so many trials and tribulations, and maybe from your perspective you think, I'm a failure. You think I'm a failure. You think I don't even know my place. I don't even know what I've been doing all these years. Some of us have a hard time seeing ourselves in the light that we deserve to be seen in. Again, that goes back to perspectives and how they can ruin our lives, but we'll talk about that in another episode. But some of us just don't see ourselves in the way that does us really justice. I'm just so happy that you're here. And if you take one thing from this episode is just tell yourself, I'm happy to be here. Like, genuinely feel it in your heart. I'm so happy to be here. If you have to go as far as crying, then cry. Don't suppress again. Don't suppress what you feel. Some of you have really overcome, such tough situations, but you've made the best out of it. You really made lemonade from lemons, and the best lemonade you could use. Maybe that time all you had was water, lemon, and I don't know, agave syrup, or let's just say sugar, right? And now you're beating yourself up thinking, oh my goodness, I should have made it healthier. I should have made the lemonade with agave syrup or honey or whatever. But you had sugar. Maybe some of you made the lemonade without any sugar. It was just with water and lemon. And that's fine. You made something. You made something with what you had. That is so beautiful and so powerful. And if you could make something with having so little, then I'm just thinking, what can you do now? What can you create now? What can you make now? But instead, the most beautiful people who have experienced so much pain and so much sadness, unfortunately, that pain holds them back. And now they feel like something is broken with them. And they forget all of the things that they have outgrown. They forget all of the things that they were able to, all the things they were able to transmute. They forget all of those things. And they just see themselves right now. They look around them and they think, what have I accomplished? What have I done? I have nothing to show for myself. Therefore, I am nothing. That is so heartbreaking. Regardless of where you are right now, whether you wish you did more, whether you wish you had taken a direction that you never took, you can't go back and change it. But there's something you can do. You can acknowledge the fact that you did the best you could at that time, and you can celebrate yourself for being here. And you can move forward with life knowing that you're always going to be okay, because you're so loved and you're so precious. No matter what happens, I want you to always remember, I survived, let's celebrate. Or I'm going to celebrate myself. It doesn't matter what the world thinks. Who cares? People always think things. People have always thought things. And people will always continue to think things. What really matters is how you see yourself. Because how you see yourself is what determines the experience of life you have. How you see yourself is what influences your experience with others and with everything else around you. So I don't know who you are, right? But if you want me to know you, send me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. But I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you've overcome. A lot of people don't wear the things they've overcome on their faces, on their shoulders. They hide those things deep inside. I'm not saying that you should tell your entire story unless you want to do that. If you want to do that, please do that. But I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying that you should just appreciate yourself for what you were able to overcome, because every one of us have had some sort of adversity. Every one of us. So no matter what you're going through right now, don't look at others, whether it's on social media, whoever it may be, and think, oh my gosh, I'm just such a whatever, the F word, the failure word. I'm such a F word. I don't want to keep saying it because it's horrible. You keep thinking to yourself as that word. You think you are that. But you don't understand that because you overcame something in the past, you might have inspired someone around you. No matter how bad you think you are, there's always someone watching. That person might make themselves obvious to you and say, oh my gosh, I admire you so much. But no matter who you think you are, someone out there loves you so much. Whether it's a higher power, again, the higher powers always love you. God, the universe, you're always loved by those powers. Or, I'm talking about human beings here. There's always someone, a person, who admires you, who cares for you, and who is watching you. But don't celebrate yourself for them. Celebrate yourself because you genuinely are grateful of everything you were able to accomplish in your life. Say thank you for your life. Say thank you for what you have now. And decide on what you want and who you want to be tomorrow. You can choose that. So again, I believe that part of blooming and blossoming is about understanding that I survived, so I get to celebrate. And celebrating does not have to be these lavish parties. It's just giving yourself a hug, smiling at, I don't know, kids that you see on the streets, smiling at people, waving at people. Just allowing that judgment to just fly off of you. In other words, let it go. There's so many things we hold inside of us that do not help us live our best life. The voices in our heads will tell us, oh, don't smile, they might think you're weird. Oh, don't go there, don't sit there, don't sit like that, they might judge you. But the real thing is that who cares if they judge you? You survived, you get to celebrate. You get to share your light, your love with everyone around you. And if someone finds that uncomfortable, if someone finds your existence a burden, that's for them to decide. That has nothing to do with you. Even me being here, I'm not gonna lie, I felt awkward a little bit about trying to come here. I was like, oh my goodness. But the more I'm putting myself out there, the more parts of me are starting to heal. It's like, wow, okay, I get to do this. It's a privilege that I get to even be here. It's a privilege that I get to have you as listeners. It's a privilege that I get to have a mic. I get to have all these things that allow me to share parts of myself with the world, with you beautiful and precious people. And I'm so grateful for that. And that's because I survived. That's because I survived my own challenges in my life, no matter how small or big they are. I'm here because I survived. And now I want to celebrate. I want to share myself with the world. No matter how awkward I feel, no matter how weird I feel, I'm like, you know what? This feels good. So I'm not going to worry about how I look on the outside. I'm just going to do it. And guess what? I'm going to have fun while doing it. I am going to have fun while doing it. So blooming and blossoming, it's also about celebrating your wins, celebrating where you are, having gratitude for yourself, having genuine gratitude for yourself. Like, oh my goodness, I'm breathing now. I don't have to think about breathing. Do you know what a blessing that is? There are people right now as we speak all over the world that are hooked to machines that breathe for them, that make their hearts beat for them. There's so many things that I don't even know. People are fighting for their lives, like physically, emotionally, spiritually. People are fighting for their lives. So whatever you've overcome in your life, no matter how small you think it is, I'm here to tell you that it's actually really big, because you're here and you're listening to this podcast for whatever reason. Maybe you want to support me, and for that I love you so much. Maybe you found this and the title appealed to you and you thought, wow, I think I can take something from there. And you having the mindset, I think I can take something from this. It shows that you haven't fully given up on yourself. Oh my goodness. Do you realize how amazing that is? You are just thinking that maybe I can learn something from there. Right? You want to rise above your circumstances. You want to make your life better. You want to become a better person. And yet you think that you are what? A failure? Yeah, that word. Or you think that you're just not good enough. Or you think that how you are, there's something off, something wrong, whatever it may be. There are a lot more people who struggle with similar things, but they just don't show it. Whatever it may be, again, you being here, wanting to learn something, it's literally you overcoming something. And that's so beautiful. You've done it in the past and now you're doing it again. But the only part is that you keep overcoming. You keep surviving. Even thriving. Now you're thriving, but yet there's no celebration to your magnificent, to how amazing and how beautiful you are. Please celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your little wins. Because those little wins, I'm telling you, they are not little wins. Because before you can have big wins, you have little wins. Before you can take a huge step. Like a huge step is a bunch of tiny little steps. And every tiny step you take brings you closer to that big step. And people who can take big steps all the time are people who can celebrate the success of their little steps. So you might get somewhere, you might progress in life, but if you really want to not just progress through life, but if you also want to do it while having a good time, if you also want to do it while sharing your gifts with the world, if you also want to do it while living your best life, then you have to celebrate today. Celebrate today. Give yourself a hug. And I know I'm always saying this, but give yourself a hug. Right now, I'm actually smiling at you because I just see you becoming the best version of yourself. I see you living a life that truly feels good to you. I see you having fun. I see you sharing your gifts with the world, no matter what they are, no matter how awkward you think it is. I see you opening your heart and being open to all the beautiful things that are coming your way. I see sunshine all around you, giggles, abundance, prosperity. I see you stepping into your power. I see you giving yourself hugs, publicly or privately. No judgment here. I see you letting your light shine. I see you saying, I survived. I get to thrive. Let's celebrate. And please, if you have a story to share with me, I would love to hear from you. Whatever feedback you have about this episode, it will make me so happy to just hear what you think. No matter what it is, good or bad, I am open to constructive feedback. Share with me what you think of today's episode, either here on Spotify, or leave me a comment on Instagram, or go to my YouTube channel, give me some love, or give me your opinions. I can take it. But I just wanted to open your heart and to just acknowledge how far you've made it. Turn around and look at, and just imagine seeing the 5-year-old or the 10-year-old, however old you are, 20-year-old, look back like 10 years. Do you see how far you were? Do you see how there were things you didn't know then that you know now? Do you see how the version of you now is better? Or she's kinder? Or she has more success? Or she knows how to talk to people? Or she learned to let go? But do you just see how that version of you has actually blossomed a lot since then? Now, looking back at that version of you and seeing who you are now, don't you have so much more gratitude for who you are now? Take a deep breath and just say to yourself, I'm so happy I survived everything that was meant to destroy me. In fact, I was able to rise above those things. It doesn't matter where I am now. What matters is where I'm going. What really matters is who I want to become. I'm so grateful for that version of myself. She or he, because welcome men to this podcast. She or he handled it with so much grace. They did the best they could. And now that I know better, I'm so ready to do better. I can't wait to look back at this version of myself and think to myself, whoa, I learned to celebrate. I always was good at surviving, but now I just don't survive. I thrive. I thrive with joy. I thrive with love. And most importantly, I celebrate. My heart is open to all the beautiful things that are yet to come. I can't wait to indulge in the glory of being myself. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for being here. I just hope that this episode was able to help you understand something. I don't know, it's so interesting to see what people take out of these episodes, and it's just so lovely. So I really want to know what you were able to take from this. And remember, you survived. Now you get to thrive and celebrate. Celebrate every single day. Celebrate every single day. I love you so much. I'm gonna blow a kiss because I want to. Have the most beautiful day. Right now it's 9:56 a.m. and it's a Friday. So yeah, have a beautiful day. I love you. Bye.